Hi, welcome to Landscape of Mothers. I'm Jill Clifton. I wanted to talk about how landscapes, like out in the world, out in the ecological world, in nature, are related to the landscape of mothers, or our inner landscape. And so I just wanted to draw some parallels. Like natural landscapes have their own ecology, they're interconnected with one another. So if we think about like a desert ecosystem, it is dependent and interconnected with like rainforest ecosystems. And so there's this sort of contained individual thing about an ecosystem, as well as an interconnectedness with other ecosystems. And that's very much like how we are as individuals. So we have this rich inner landscape inside of us that makes us who we are as an individual, and we are interconnected with our families and friends and communities and beloveds, and in fact, the world stage. So there's this orientation both towards our inner selves, our individual selves, and our collective humanity. And so the relationships inside of the natural ecosystems can be models for our human lives. And especially when we are trying to sort of redefine ourselves, that is, if we have had like a parent, like if we grew up in a particular way and we want to kind of do things different with our children, we want to break family patterns of harm, then we're trying to change a behavior, and we have to work both inside of ourselves and sort of in this ecosystem of our family unit to do that. So that inner work that we do results in an inner mother who's capable of holding the vision for ourselves and those that we care about. And she can help us really nurture this like new way of family continuity into being. And that if we base that family continuity on natural systems, we might say that our goal is more of a symbiotic family, that family nurtures, nourishes, and protects all of the members of the family. And so this would be our option for working outside of an hierarchy where there's like a mom and a dad, and they say what's going to happen, and then the kids are expected to do it, and then to take responsibility for the outcomes of their behaviors. And it causes a lot of discord because it ignores the inner landscape of the children often. So the people with the most power get to make the decisions. And sometimes that's deeply appropriate. And other times, especially as kids grow and are looking for their own independence and trying to figure out how to manage their own feelings and will and intentions and decisions, they need to engage in all of those processes. So, so when we have this inner mother grown and intact, and she is in service to this idea of a symbiotic family, then she becomes the foundation of our motherhood or our parenthood. And so we change and become, and we behave as the parent that we want to be because we have this strong foundation of the inner mother and her values and orientation. This frees us from that constant self-monitoring of trying to get our behaviors just right to elicit certain behaviors in our children. And by using our will to kind of do that. Like I said, these don't have to be mutually exclusive approaches. Like sometimes it's appropriate to just set our expectations, and people need to conform. Like we put on our rain boots before we go out in the rain or whatever it is. And other times it's important to consider the skills that we're trying to teach our children and what we want them to have as skills when they leave our house eventually. So I have found, though, that using my, intention and my will, trying to change my behavior or whatever to elicit certain behaviors from my kids is an approach that resulted in sporadic successes and was deeply dependent on my ability to regulate or to have capacity. So it was really directly related to whether or not I had capacity to manage my own will and my own behavior. The more I've embraced the inner mother and I've tended to her and engaged with her, the easier it is for me to bring forth the behaviors I want from within me, because they're based on my values and my long-term desires for my family, rather than trying to like extract them from my brain and execute them in life. So I hope that that gives you an overview of Landscape of Mothers and kind of where it came from and what it is looking to do and where we derive that mirror of foundation, which would be from nature. So if you're interested, there's far more videos below. I hope you'll join me for this exploration of what parenting could look like if we looked at it from an interconnected and interdependent point of view and set our sights on a symbiotic family relationship. Thanks for being here.